Hi Gemini, welcome back to my channel, Karma Fox. I am doing your weekly reading for January. I hope everybody's well. I am going to take a second to remind you that this is a general reading. It may not resonate with every Gemini, so guys, take what resonates for you and leave the rest for someone else. Keep in mind that the energies can reverse. So if it is resonating, get in where you fit in, but as always, don't force yourself into a reading that's not for you. Spirit, can I have the energy of the sign of Gemini? Gemini. Energy for Gemini. All right, Gemini, you're starting out with the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. You have the King of Cups reversed. And you have the Two of Swords in reverse. So there's a karmic cycle or a karmic lesson that is taking place. I do feel like you're experiencing a lot of loss here. This does pertain primarily to love. And I feel like you're making some decisions about this. I feel like you're learning the lesson and you're making decisions here. You've experienced a breakup or an ending here, a loss. And it is in love. I feel like this was very draining for you. I feel like you were looking at something here, Gemini, where you were at one point so in love, and somewhere along the line, things, it's like things went astray and there was an ending. And now there's some sort of decision that you're making with regard to this. You have a little hesitancy, or you've had some hesitancy about this in the past, and I feel like you're conquering that, but you're unsure. There's a sense of being unsure. So let me see who's in your energy. Show me who is in Gemini's energy. Show me who's in Gemini's energy. All right, so the person in your energy, we have the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. We have the Chariot reversed. And you have the Nine of Swords in reverse. All right, so this person in your energy has felt the loss of this connection as well. There's a deep sense of loss on both sides here. I do feel like with the Chariot in reverse, this person tried to move on from this connection, but they found that they were unable to do so. And I feel like whatever decision you're making here is kind of relieving the anxiety for this person. This person spent a lot of time thinking about this connection. There was a sense here of, just waiting for it to become even more painful. And there's some decision that you're making, you're a little unsure of. It took you a long time to get there, but it's helping this person to come out of that anxiety, out of all of that energy of, oh my God, what's going to happen that's going to hurt me next? Because this person has felt a deep sense of loss. Now, I will say there could be some codependency within this connection, and that may be part of the karmic lesson that is being learned here. Let me see the energy between Gemini and this person. The Knight of Wands. Oh, so you've communicated. This looks like you communicating with them. There's communication here, and you're both very excited about it. Yeah, you're both excited. So there's some sort of communication here. Okay, let's see what's affecting the connection. The Emperor in the reverse. Yeah, there's a sense that this situation, with regard to love, with regard to this person trying to move forward and yet unable to do so, it's spun out of control. There's definitely, because look at all these cards that are reversed, right? But I feel like either you're dealing with a karmic connection or there's a karmic cycle that's ending here between you and this person. And it's ending with communication. Because the only card that's up right now is this Knight of Wands, and it's that communication coming through where I see both parties very excited. But the situation between the two of you spun out of control. Neither of you were willing to take control of the situation either. This person tried to move away from it. And in your energy, you just felt very drained, very drained. And there's definitely a need here, Gemini, for you to pour that love into yourself as well. You could be dealing with a Cancer sign, an Aries perhaps. Let me see your outcome, Gemini. The Death card, there's a transformation that's happening, and it's happening because of the decision that you've made or are making here. Yeah, there's almost a sense of trying to work things out. It's almost like chess, but it's not a traditional, it's not traditional. I feel like there are pieces and things that need to be moved and sorted in order for this transformation to take place. Yeah, it's like trying to line up a moving chessboard. So it's difficult. All right, bottom of the deck is the Two of Cups. Interesting. So that does tell me that you may be dealing with a soulmate here. I do like that it's in the upright. It does tell me that because of decisions being made or the communication between the two of you that likely has already occurred, that the two of you are getting on the same page. So yeah, let's see what this is about. Spirit, why is the Queen of Pentacles in reverse? All right, we have the Six of Swords reversed. We have the Five of Pentacles, and we have the Five of Wands, and we have the Ace of Wands reversed. Yeah, you weren't able to move on from this person either. There was an ending here. I definitely see that. You may have tried to move towards another connection that was very sexual in nature. There was definitely a lot of conflict here between you and this person, but neither of you have moved forward. So that's why the communication has either come in or is going to. Why is the King of Cups in reverse? Aha! Ace of Cups, all right. Ace of Cups in the upright and the World. You just want to end this cycle. This has been a very difficult, very draining cycle. So you want to end that, and you want to have the Ace of Cups. You want a new beginning with this person. Yeah, you want, I feel like this thing spun out of control, and neither you or this person, Gemini, were willing to step in and take control of the situation. That's ending. That's ending with this communication, likely a decision that you're making. And that decision is that you love this person. You want to come back in. So you've been holding back. You've had all these feelings. You also tried to move away from the connection, and you weren't able to do so. They weren't able to do so. So you want to end all of this, whatever it was that spun out of control, in order to have a new beginning. Let me see the Two of Swords in reverse. All right, we have Temperance in reverse, and we have the Seven of Pentacles. So you want to invest. Your decision is that even though things are not balanced here, you want to invest. There's healing that needs to take place. You're aware of this, and yet you're saying, I can patiently, invest in this. I need to figure out what needs to be healed. There's a sense of patience. There's a sense of waiting to see. Is this actually going to heal? Is it actually going to transform? Is it going to come together? There's a lot that has to be looked at, a lot that has to be worked on. Let's look at their energy. Why is the Nine of Pentacles in reverse for the person in Gemini's energy? All right, we have the Six of Pentacles. We have the Death card and the Three of Cups. So this person may have been dating. I see this person dating, or if not dating, they were going out with friends, family. They were socializing in order to deal with the ending of this connection. I do feel like this is somebody who was trying to bring balance back into their life. And I do feel like they have, to some degree, they've created some kind of a transformation here. But at the same time, they never fully got past this connection. So when you come in and you communicate, if you haven't already, it's going to make them very happy. You may find them already, already dating others, going out. That could create a little conflict, either internal or external. But I feel like this person will be happy to hear from you. Let me see why the Chariot is in reverse. Four of Wands reversed, 10 of Wands reversed, and the Lovers. Okay, so I like this. I like this because what this is telling me, now some of you were married to this person or you were in a long-term connection, possibly living together. There's this person was doing everything they could to basically deal with this ending. I do feel like this person feels that you are their soulmate, but they were unwilling to come in and take control of this situation and resolve the problems. Now, are they willing to at this point? I think they may be, because this person now has a choice between you and probably more than one person. It's definitely someone else. They definitely have a choice between you and someone else. So they may have been dating or may be dating, but I do feel like this person feels that you are a soulmate. They're just not willing to take control of the situation. I feel like you now are. So do they want to, end this conflict that's between the two of you? Yes, they do. They do. I do also feel like this person was trying to, get their life in order. They felt there was no stability within the connection. And I feel like they may be somebody who avoids problems. So be careful with that. But ultimately, this person tried to move on. They found that it was too problematic to do so. And they felt like they were in a catch-22 because they weren't going to step in and take control of it with the Emperor in the reverse. However, I do feel like they never moved on. So you're mirroring each other. You could be dealing here with a twin flame connection, possibly a karmic. I'm just not sure. You'll know what kind of relationship you're in. I will tell you that this person, they literally would choose you over anyone else, but there's something here that made them back up and say, I'm not taking control of this. Let me look at the Nine of Swords in the reverse. Show me the Nine of Swords in reverse. All right, we have the Nine of Wands. We have the Three of Coins. All right, so I do feel like this person, whatever decision you're making, and it looks like you're deciding to invest in the connection, even though you know this is going to take a lot of healing, this person is not trusting that you're going to actually make that transformation. The ending of this connection affected them deeply. And so that's why we get this feeling like there's a transformation, but there's a lot of pieces on this board. And, this person is looking at it. They feel, okay, well, I want to resolve all these problems. This person's decision to come towards me, to talk to me, I do feel like is a good step, but I don't know if this is actually going to transform. They do feel there is a contract between the two of you, likely a soul contract, but I feel like they're cooperative with working this out. They're happy to hear from you. They're happy that you want to invest in this connection, that you want to transform this, to heal this, but they don't trust it. So let's look at the energy between Gemini and this person. Yeah, it looks like the communication is coming from your side, Gemini, although you're very conflicted about doing so. So we have the Chariot, we have the King of Pentacles in the reverse. So this person does feel like the two of you are soulmates. I see that in several different places here. They do feel like you are the ideal partner. They were feeling a deep sense of loss. You were feeling a deep sense of loss. I feel like you may have engaged in another connection that was highly sexual. This person may have been dating. But regardless, I do feel like this person and you, neither of you fully moved on from one another. So they're sitting in this sense of loss, thinking about you, wondering what's going on with you. And then you make the move to come towards them with the Chariot here with communication. And I feel like it took a lot for you to do that. I feel like you were very conflicted because of the way things ended. You may have felt like, well, this person's just going to shut me down. So I do feel like if this hasn't already happened, I feel like you're in that process. I do see forward movement coming from your side. And remember, it is the Emperor that drives the Chariot. Here we have the Emperor in the reverse. So while you may not have been taking control of this, and neither were they, I feel like you're the one who's picking this up and you're bringing in this cup of love, you know, in order to end this cycle that is taking place between the two of you. All right, and I do see a lot of mirroring. Show me what's affecting this connection. The Moon and the Hierophant reverse. So we have Taurus, Cancer energy, Gemini energy, Virgo, let's see what else, Capricorn energy, Scorpio, but it doesn't have to be. Don't get too attached to the signs because we have them all in our chart somewhere. All right, so this ended, this connection ended, right? It spun out of control, it ended. Neither of you were willing to take control of it. Well, you said, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to be the one to take control. You got in your little Chariot, Gemini, and you were like, here I go. I'm going to communicate, even though this person may turn me down. This person in your energy, I feel like they did not see this coming. Or they're not going to see this coming because they feared that you were never going to step up to the plate or to take control of this or to be the one to initiate the conversation. So they're not going to see this coming, and it's going to leave them in this energy because I do feel like for some of you, this person may have been dating someone else or may be dating someone else where now they're going to have to make a choice between you and someone else. And keep in mind, I do feel like this person never fully moved on from you, but they don't trust the connection either. So I feel like they want to resolve the problems here, but they may be feeling a little overwhelmed, like they don't quite know how to do that. Yeah, so let me see. Let me see your outcome. It's a very interesting reading, Gemini. Show me the outcome for Gemini. Okay, we have the Six of Wands reversed. We have the Hangman. And we have the Seven of Swords in the reverse. So this person is afraid that this is not going to be successful. They're afraid that this transformation is not going to happen because they don't trust the connection. I see that there was some sort of deception here. This person may feel like you keep secrets, like you don't, play your hand. They feel like you're holding something back. There's some sort of secret here, and they're just not trusting. I do feel like they will bring that to the table. I feel like they're not trying to hide anything themselves. They are being a cooperative component to this, but there's just definitely a lack of trust, and it's based upon the past. Whatever made this connection end, whatever, brought this to a state where it wasn't a successful connection, they're afraid that it's not going to transform because of that. And so I do feel like they're kind of holding back a little bit, unsure if this is actually going to transform. Now, in your energy, I feel like you're being very patient here. You have the Hangman. You're waiting for that success. You're waiting for the healing. You're waiting. You've made the decision that you're going to wait and see what's going to happen here. Is it going to be successful? Is it not? Now, there could initially be something that happens here within the week or so that's going to make you feel like, oh my gosh, what if it's not? There's a need for you to look at everything here, Gemini, from a different perspective. I do feel like this person is, what is it they say? Once burned, twice shy. So this person is saying, I don't know if this is actually going to work out. Is it possible we can transform this? And you're over here saying, you know what? I will wait. I will be patient here. Yes, I think this can be transformed. I think it can be healed, but it's going to take some work. So I feel like you're being extremely patient. I feel like you will wait for this person to, you know, for their fears to be released and you know, addressed. And I do feel like they're in that process. So neither of you moved on from each other, and you both do want this, but I feel like this person's a little gun shy, if I'm being completely honest. Bottom of the deck, we have the Eight of Swords in the reverse, and this tells me that you're freeing yourself from anxiety, that coming together, bringing this together, getting on the same page, drinking from the same cup, this is what's you feel is going to free you from all the anxiety that you have been experiencing in this connection. So yeah, I think this is a process. It's a process. Transformation does not happen in one day. There's a lot of healing that needs to take place. There's a lot of trust that needs to be reestablished. There's a lot of patience. There's a lot of, you know, cooperativeness. There's a lot that's going into this. So this is not something that you're doing lightly. I can see that. Let me see. I'm going to pull an oracle card for you. Pulling for Gemini. All right, Gemini, we have release and surrender. We shower you with blessings of our radiant love. Open your arms and release the challenges that you've held tightly gripped within your hands. Open your hands, arms, and heart to our love and our assistance. Oh, so you're being assisted by angels in this process, but you're going to have to release what you've been holding on to, and you're going to have to surrender to the process. And I do feel like you're ready to do that. All right, I hope this has been helpful for you, Gemini. If you've resonated with this reading, hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and hype the video if you get the opportunity. Until I see you in your next video, know that you are loved, Gemini, and namaste.